Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to yet another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a time traveler who claims to be pregnant with an alien from the future. Now this is some out of left field stuff. Just psychotic, yeah. You and I are probably thinking the same exact thing right now. This is one of the dumbest things you've ever heard, but yeah, there's a woman who's claiming this is actually the case, and she's got this picture that she's showing, and she's claiming that this is evidence. It's an ultrasound picture. She's claiming this is evidence of her being pregnant with an alien hybrid baby, and she has this really elaborate story and whatnot uploaded on YouTube, and I wanted to go over it because a fan actually tweeted it at me this morning, and he goes by the @of_ZRelics, and, go follow him. Thanks for sending this my way. Aliens have been really popular recently. I don't know what it is, but they've just been popping recently. Area 51, that whole thing, we gotta go see them aliens. Now we're on the trend of apparently being time travelers who are pregnant with aliens. I don't get it, but apparently that's the kind of thing that we're on here, folks, so. But am I fair for judging her before hearing her side of the story? Maybe I'm not. Let's go ahead and start taking a listen.
Today, I'll share some shocking information with you while giving you real proofs on it.
Now, I'm really excited to see these real proofs on it. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of evidence behind this. I mean, real proofs. That's a direct quote. There should be a lot of evidence, not just one picture that could have been easily manipulated and printed out on pretty much, virtually any printer, pretty much anywhere, It has to be pretty, a lot of proof. Maybe video evidence of you being in a doctor's office and talking to a doctor about this, plus an ultrasound photo. Maybe even, some doctor's records signed off by a legitimate doctor and whatnot. Some stuff like that, right? That's what you would think, real proofs, quote unquote. That's what I would expect to see.
Let me start from the very beginning. I was 18 years old and a student studying in one of the universities in Paris when one of my professors noticed me. His name was Paul Marteau, and he offered me a job at the laboratory. By the way, I was studying chemistry. He didn't exactly specify what the lab was.
Now, I want you to notice two things about this story right off the rip. And you're going to think, yeah, I'm overanalyzing this, but yes, I am overanalyzing it, I'm very aware. Now, number one, she gave the professor's full name already, okay? So we're not even, a minute into this, and she's given the full name of the supposed professor who had given her this laboratory job. And number two, she had given out her major. She was studying chemistry. Kind of weird that a chemistry major ends up a time traveler pregnant with an alien baby, but you know what? Yeah, I didn't go to college for chemistry, so yeah, maybe I missed out on something there.
There were many rooms in that lab, but one of them was closed for regular workers. Only a limited number of people knew what was going on there. I won't tell you the whole story, let me just jump into the interesting parts.
Usually when people say things like this, that is, a very criminal indicator that the story is made up. Hey, I'm not going to tell you the entire story where you'd get the full context, and you can get all the details and kind of make the full decision for yourself. I'll just give you the really interesting parts that sound really cool and fascinating. Usually that's how you can tell people are always telling the truth.
My supervisor had an electronic card with which he used to open that door, and during lunch break I stole his card and entered the forbidden room. It was a huge space filled with wires and cables, glassware of different shapes that had various liquids in them. There was a metal chair right in the middle of the room to which an uncountable number of wires were connected.
Immediately just sounds like a generic scene out of a sci-fi movie, like she had watched, Back to the Future and maybe some other sci-fi movie and just combined the two with an uncountable amount of wires. It sounds like she's almost detailing the scene from Rap God where Eminem's plugged into the computer or whatever,
I was walking around the room staring at things while suddenly a heavy hand grabbed my shoulder. I turned around and saw Professor Paul Marteau. He got very angry at first, but then he calmed down and he decided to offer me a new job as a time machine operator's assistant.
That sounds pretty realistic, see? He got extremely mad and angry figuring out that, you stole the card and access to the Forbidden Room. And then, of course, the most logical and rational decision was next to offer you a job after betraying his trust, stealing property of this laboratory, and then entering a Forbidden Room. He offered you a promotion to a new job as the assistant of this top secret project of a time machine operator's assistant. That sounds like a very wise decision that this guy made. Yeah, this story is really coming together well so far.
Turns out time machines have been around since the 1970s, but a protocol has been signed worldwide banning time traveling and any machines of such kind, even for scientific study purposes.
Really, there's a protocol banning time traveling and any machines of such kind. What's funny is, I've never heard of that protocol. Could you maybe point us in the direction of that protocol? This whole thing seems extremely realistic, and the time travelers have been around since the 70s, right? Yeah.
I really wanted to see the future and with my own eyes witness all of the happenings there, and this was the best opportunity I could get.
Now, this is the point of the story where apparently she gets sent off to the future with a squad of people. Apparently, by this time, she has gained the trust of this professor after, just a year prior, according to her story, blatantly stealing the card to gain access to this room, basically breaching protocol of this entire laboratory, going behind this man's back, stealing his personal property and laboratory property to access this room that she was not given access to. Only a year later, she was basically sent off to the future with this squad of scientists to tackle what I would say at this point would be a very important scientific feat in human history. Time travel is very important. I would say, even if it's not the first time we've ever pulled it off, still a pretty major accomplishment nonetheless. So they're going to the year 3500 here, folks.
The world had turned into a war zone. Buildings were destroyed, plants and greens were burned down to ashes. War was going on between humans and aliens, and it was painful remembering all of this. I can't even go into details.
You literally couldn't write a more sci-fi generic story than that. Oh, it's the year 3500, we go in the future, society is collapsing, all the buildings are destroyed, the world is on fire, aliens and humans are at war, apparently there's just no other timeline that can ever happen. Apparently, according to sci-fi, the only things that can happen are A, the apocalypse, B, aliens take everything over, C, zombie apocalypse. Basically, that's it. Like, can we get a How Humans Die DLC in here, please? Come on now. That's only 1500 years from now. Okay? And you're telling me humans and aliens are just at war, right? Yeah, I really believe this story. This story is coming together, piecing together very well. Now, I'm going to be honest, like most of you, going into the story, I wasn't going to believe it to begin with, because it's just far-fetched. Yeah, a time traveler's pregnant with a, alien hybrid baby. Yeah, seems legit. I totally believe this one, but even then, if the story was relatively feasible, I can understand why some people would kinda believe it. Why some people who just get their hopes up could kinda believe it. But this is just the most watered down, generic story you could possibly come up with. I'm dead serious. If someone came up to me on the street and was like, you have 30 seconds to tell me, a story of you being a time traveler and what you would see in the year 3500, I'd be like, well, humanity's basically destroyed, we're at war with aliens, all the buildings are destroyed, basically, I was in a lab, and I got time traveled into the future, and I saw some horrible stuff, we're all doomed. That's how everything ever ends, come on. For once, can't we just ever get it to end where humans just, win, But hey, there's more to the story,
Those aliens were from the Andromeda galaxy, and people got lucky that they were just a little more developed than humans.
Now here's a very potential large hole in the story here. These aliens are just a little bit more developed than humans, just a tad bit more, not too much. The fight's pretty even. However, these aliens have gained the ability to travel from an entirely different galaxy and wage war on us. I mean, according to this story, like, we can time travel, but we can't, like, go all the way to their galaxy and fight them on their home turf, but they're just, like, here smacking us from Andromeda. Like, they're on our turf, stomping us out. We're out here getting booed by the home crowd right now, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, but they're just only a little bit more advanced than us, right? We're still kind of putting up a fight, but all of humanity's basically in ruin. All the buildings are destroyed. The whole planet's basically destroyed, but we're keeping up a pretty even fight. Humans were pretty lucky about that, right? Yeah. It's always great when you can't go into details. Yeah, that's usually a very great sign of your story.
We joined a community of people there who were fighting against aliens. During one of those fights, our community lost and the aliens took us into hostage. I won't get into details on what happened there because the pain, humiliation, and torture we went through was inhumane. I was the only one who survived, but I was there and I was their slave. I had no idea how I got so lucky and suddenly I appeared at home.
So 1 second you're a slave to these aliens who you're the only person who survived in your whole squad, and the next minute you're at home. It's magic. Nothing happened. You remember nothing, and it just happened. They must have felt mercy after, killing off your entire squad, waging war against the entirety of the human race, and just decided, hey, we'll send you back where you belong. That's usually how aliens who want to kill off an entire species probably would feel.
So now I will show you something you have never witnessed before.
Now, apparently this is proof of her being pregnant with an alien-human hybrid baby. However, I would just chalk this one up to being a very poor Photoshop. I mean, it's pretty clear that this story has almost no chance of being real to anybody who has any, reason within themselves. Nothing about this story adds up. She doesn't want to be named, she wants to remain anonymous, her face is blurred out and whatnot, yet she named her professor with his full name, named the location which it took place in Paris. She showed an ultrasound of her baby alien, which I would think, would garner some pretty significant attention, regardless. It's a fake story. However, the thing is people are gonna believe this, and that's what I don't get, because people believe literally anything. Like, there's people who are going to see this video and they're just going to take everything at face value and go, oh my god, this must be true. This woman really is a time traveler. Now, do I believe time travel is possible, if not already, being executed? Of course. I don't know 100%. For all you know, they might already just be walking around. However, I don't think the first thing I would do if I, decided one day to go with a squad full of people to the year 3500, saw the most generic sci-fi story to the next movie, next big Hollywood movie, I don't think the next thing I would do once I got home would be to go film a YouTube video about it and show the fake ultrasound of my alien baby to the world. I think I'd be going through extensive therapy. I would have a lot of family time. I'd be trying to mentally recover from what had happened. I'd be doing a lot of soul searching. I'd be trying to recover my spot in society. Be trying to do a lot of personal, rebuilding. It's got to be a pretty traumatic experience seeing that, But hey, it doesn't matter, right? Because the story's fake. I mean, let's just call it at what it is. And if this story isn't fake, I will personally donate $1,000 to this woman to, buy supplies or whatever she needs for this half-alien baby hybrid. Like, it's just crazy the things people will make up almost, I'm thinking maybe she has something wrong with her, That I don't think any normal person could sit here and make something like that up. I think she's got to have some sort of mental problem going on. She's got to be like, I don't know, psychotic or something, crazy. Something's got to be going on up there. I don't know, this isn't normal behavior. Or maybe she's just doing it for the attention. You never know, there are some clout chasers out there, man. We talk about them all the time here on the channel. Clout chasing is a real thing. Aliens are a hot topic at the moment, folks. I mean, saying you have a hybrid alien on the way, that could be a hot commodity. So, at the end of the day, man, I just don't get it. I don't understand why people believe this stuff. I don't understand why people make this stuff up knowing that the majority of people aren't going to believe it. But, just a shame, man. Just a shame the lengths people will go just to get even the smallest little crumb of attention from people. Anyways, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on my channel, follow me over on Twitter at Optimus. I post memes, thoughts, and updates over there. It's a surefire way to get notifications of all my newest content. Join the Discord down below, lots of great things going on down there as well. Thank you to my channel members, your support helps my channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, having a half alien hybrid, and signing out.